This is James with WSTrades.com. I want to talk about adding a sell arrow to your chart in ThinkorSwim with ThinkScript. So I made a video previously talking about how to add a buy arrow. So now I'm going to talk about adding the sell arrow. So if you have a certain condition met with a certain strategy or a certain indicator, I want to show you how you can actually plot an arrow that will tell you when to sell your position. So the previous example I used was just pretty simple. It was based on Bollinger Bands and the 200-day simple moving average. So I'm going to kind of stick with that for adding this sell arrow here. And I'm going to pull up the code here. This is what I got. So this top block here is pretty much your basic setup for Bollinger Bands. You know, if you go into ThinkorSwim and you actually take a look here at studies on the upper right, and I go to edit studies here, and I look at the studies here, and I look at Bollinger Bands. If you pull it up, that's where this top part of the code comes from. So this is all the default settings here and parameters for Bollinger Bands. So I'm going to kind of use that and I'm going to kind of add to it. So this bottom part is actually the code that plots the sell arrow on the chart. So like I was talking about here, I was talking about the 200-day simple moving average. Sorry, I'm using exponential. So I actually use exponential here. And I'm looking for, so one condition here is a close being less than the 200-day exponential moving average. So that's one condition. And then the second condition is actually price closing above the upper Bollinger Band. So when those two conditions are met, you can see I've got an and here. So when condition 1 and condition 2 are met, we're going to paint that sell arrow here, and this is the Boolean arrow down. So let's actually take this code. I'm just going to copy all this code here. I'm going to go into ThinkorSwim, up to the studies here in the upper right, left click, then left click on edit studies, and I'm going to create. So let me create a new study here. It has one line in here. I'm going to wipe that out, and I'm going to dump it in my code. All right, everything checks out, so I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to just leave it with the default name here for whatever, you know, you can put in a custom name here if you want, but I'm just going to leave the default name of new study 3. So I click that, I'm going to click apply, and it's on my chart. So the ticker that I have pulled up right now is actually Virgin Galactic or Space, and I've got the daily time frame pulled up. So you can see that top part of the code actually printed out the upper and lower Bollinger Bands here, and then you've got the arrows plotted on the chart. So let's take a look here. It's actually a couple pretty good entries here. So you can see this arrow plotted right here. We got a close above that upper Bollinger Band, and that actually would have been a good short opportunity if you were looking for a small profit here, because this candle up here closed at about 722, and then this thing quickly sold off to about 652. So about $1 move there. That would have been a nice short entry, but this one is really good right here. As you can see, the price up around 826, and we get that sell arrow plotted, and huge sell off. This thing looks like it dipped all the way down to about 4. Continued to sell off as we got more sell signals up here. So this thing moved all the way down to 320. So boy, that would have been a great short entry there. And then if we actually had the buy arrow plotted on here too, we could get like a buyback signal. You can see this one here was not that great unless you had a pretty wide stop loss, or you were able to hold the position for a while, because this candle here closes at 463. Then we get a really good rally here of a couple bucks, almost up to about 675, 670, somewhere in there. But then eventually it had a sell off and pulled back really nicely below the $3 mark. So yeah, if you've never used ThinkScript, or you wanted to learn how to put arrows on the chart, in this case a sell arrow, you know, hopefully this video will help you to, you know, implement these buy and sell arrows in your charts, in your studies, in your strategies. If you're going to be coding here in ThinkScript, I'll go ahead and leave the code in the description section. So if you actually want to grab the code for this entire study, you can grab it from there, pop it into ThinkorSwim, and then kind of tweak it as you see fit. You know, maybe you can find some better parameters to use, or a different moving average, or, you know, you can tweak some of that stuff and kind of play around with it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you have not put that sell arrow on your chart before, I hope this helps. Please like this video. Please also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Talk to you soon.